Good day, dear students. We have seen in Act 3, Actor Manager and Aravasu planning on a play which is to be performed at the fire sacrifice. And this play is to be the means by which Aravasu is going to confront his brother because his brother had given permission for the play. So there is Nitilai who is dreading the approach of the silent approach of her brother and her husband hunting her, and Aravasu planning to confront his brother. Actor manager happy that he is going to get something in for the family because they have been starving for a long time because of the famine. The actor manager finds a solution to the dilemma of Aravasu. He'll play the role of Indra because Indra needs to be a dignified figure, and Aravasu can play the role of Vritra, who dances and sings and wears a mask because Vritra can sing and dance, and at the same time, he can also wear a mask. And this mask will hide the face of Aravasu, but you will find that there is that question of the dialogue, as I told you earlier. And as a Brahmin, Aravasu can easily by heart the dialogue and will be able to perform well. But something holds back Aravasu. He's afraid, and he's afraid of confronting his brother. But more than that, he is afraid of uh, what he will hear from Paravasu, and maybe it is that he is afraid of. So Nitilai talks to him, and Arasu speaks of his hallucination that he had seen a well, and when he looks down, he wants to jump, but he faces his face there, and when he jumps in, it is his face that is there, and so she suggests, face your brother as you wanted to, and that will remove all the fear that is there in your mind. Arvas was really surprised by this piece of advice. He was not expecting anything like that because the play will have a power to remove all that is there in your mind, and the proper purgation of emotions. Maybe as you have studied criticism, you will find Aristotle telling us that the tragedy will be, or even the play in a way uh, brings about a proper purgation of the soul and helps him to enjoy the play. And in the same manner, for the actor also, it will be a relief. And the actor Aravosu was really surprised. The play will wash off the fear, also the anger against the brother who had really tricked him. So, in a way, he really wants to do that, but he just do not know how to go about it. And Nitla says that the drama or the play is the one way to do that. And when you do it in that manner, then this is going to be a proper cleansing of the mind and the feelings, and that will make you free at last. And that is indeed a sensible enough advice, though it is coming from Nitila, a tribal. This is indeed what the great philosophers have told us about analyzing the effect of a play, and you will find that it is indeed a sensible psychological reasoning. And this kind of a sensible psychological reasoning, Aravasu approves. And he really wanted to confront his brother, and he really wanted to ask certain questions, and he really wanted to take away the fear from him because the fear will make him hide always from the people. And so he wants to face his brother, he wants to face his fears, his anger, and Nitilai's advice seems to be a very good one. And Nitilai, on the other hand, she should hide because her brother and her husband, they are hunting her. She says she doesn't like God Indra, and she has her own reasons for that. God Indra is um, not a figure that we love or she loves, and she has her reasons. because Lord Indra is immortal, so he can't die. And she's glad that Aravasu is playing the part of Vritra and not that of Indra, Indra the god. When someone doesn't die or can't die, what can he know about anything? And maybe because death is imminent, that Nitila feels like that. When you are about to die, you really want to cling on to life. And whatever that is there in life, whatever that is love that is there, she wants to cling on to Aravasu because she knows that she is going to die. And because there is death, you want to appreciate the good things in life. And if you don't have death, then how can you appreciate the good things in life? Because you can continue doing that for a long time, and it is going to be, you are going to get fed up with that. So, what can he know about anything? As if challenging God Indra. If flowers didn't know they were to fade and die, would they ever blossom? That is one question that she puts before us. They blossom because they know that they are going to fade and die. And if they are going to be immortal, they will not be blossoming because only if there is death, there will be birth. And if there is a birth, there will be a death. And this man or this God is immortal. The God has got no death. So he is immortal. He doesn't know anything, according to Nithilai. Mind you, she is talking about God and not about a human being. And so here you find contradictions, but even then, she is just being an emotional human being. And moreover, she knows quite well that her husband and brother will kill her, and it's only a matter of time. And they are very good hunters also. Depending on their skill, she can really assess that it will take them very little time to reach her, and she will be killed immediately. So she wants to live, and this god, Indra, is immortal. He has no death. And so he need not face death. So she says, I don't like Indra and I don't want Arvasu to play the role of even Indra. He is only playing the role of Indra, but she doesn't want him to take the role of that character, which is supposed to be a great character in a play, maybe the main character, but she's happy that Arvasu is taking the role of Vritra and not God Indra. And she doesn't want God uh, to be played by Arvasu. Arvasu to play the role of a God because this God has no death. So he just do not know the pain of the flowers uh, blossoming and fading and dying. And he just do not know the pain of death, and he doesn't understand human beings dying in this manner. You remember the earlier situation where Nitilai asked Yavakri, why don't you ask Indra for rain? And why should this god punish people or in a way take away the rain? And if he's the god of rains, why can't he give it to people? And why should he see the suffering of the people in this manner? So Nitilai has got so many questions to God Indra, and now she has got further questions when she knows that death is almost near. And Nitlai of the forest has strange concept of gods and people. Living in communion with nature, she is more natural. She is giving, kind than anyone else in this play. And the reason why she is with Arvasu, because he is innocence, because of his innocence, and it is she is the giving, kind, and um, in a way she is like Mother Nature, and this is the reason why she is with Aravasu. She thought that he needs a little bit of protection, a little bit of support, and with his innocence, he will definitely need that. And his nature is something that she appreciates, and it is very easy to love Aravasu because he is not thinking in a crooked manner like Paravasu, not like the other people. And he has a heart with full of love. And Nitlai would like to be a person who is there to share that love. And she says, I'm sure your dancing will bring the rains, because she has got that feeling that the performance and the dance will appease the gods, and they'll be forced to give in. And more than the 7 years of fire sacrifice, Nikolai thinks that Aravasu's dancing will bring down the rains. Maybe it is too much to believe, but Nikolai had that kind of belief in Aravasu. And she says that this is going to happen. She has that kind of confidence in Aravasu, the actor, Aravasu, the man, the young man, and Aravasu, the innocent young, the person with a clean heart. And such people, when they do that, when they do this kind of, it is more than 7 years of fire sacrifice, the prayer from his heart will alone bring the rains. That kind of a that kind of an innocence, that kind of a purity Aravasu has, and Nitilai recognizes this fact, even if the others know it, but Nitilai speaks of it in this manner. So um, finally, Nikolai leaves him to his role. Arasu is dumb with grief, because you'll find that uh, the two people come over, and they kill Nikolai. You will find that, which is indeed painful. The brother and the husband comes, and in the almost dark on the stage, and they just the husband just, they do not talk. The husband just comes and holds her face and then slashes her neck with a sharp knife, and Nikolai is dead. And Arvas was dumb with the grief, holding her body in his hands. He starts crying, or he starts weeping, and the actor manager hands him the mask of Rutra the demon, and he tells him, as a solution to the grief, to lessening of the grief, it's no use trying to weep over a dead body and keep the dead body there. So Arvasu is forced to leave her body there and take on the mask. And the actor manager hands him the mask of Vritra, the demon, and cautions him about the mask. That is, you put on the mask, and then you become the actor, and you surrender to that role and pour your life into that role of Rutra the demon. And don't, he also cautions, that is, this is the advice to be a good actor. That is, once you step onto the stage, wearing your dress and costume, the costume and the makeup, you become a totally different person. You are no longer Aravasu, you are Rutra. So your acting and your movements and your talking, everything should be like that of Rutra, and not like that of a Brahmin Aravasu. So the actor manager tells him to surrender to the mask, surrender and pour life into that mask. And he also cautions Aravasu, don't let the mask take over from you. You have to keep a tight control over it. Dear students, do please underline that. Don't let the mask take over from you, but you have to keep a tight control over it. The role that you have to play is that of Rutra the demon, and you will be so taken away by the role that you become the demon Vritra, and you will not be able to return back to your former uh, role of being Arvasu. Arvasu is your natural person, and that persona will be taken over by Vritra the demon, and you should be able to bring down that. If you have the control over the mass, then you will be able to do that. So you have to have a tight control over the mask, and don't let the mask take over from you. There is indeed a wise advice given to the actors. When they are into the role, they become the actor, and they become the character. And once the role is over, once they leave the stage, they should be able to bring themselves back to their own self after some time. And as famous um, actors say, it takes them maybe 2 or 3 hours to become their normal self from being an actor. Because on the stage, once the play begins until the play ends, they are into that role. They are that role, that character, and they have to come down or bring themselves down to the human role of human beings after some time, and it takes some time. And sometimes some people just do not have that ability, which means that they just go out of their mind. So he says that you have to have a tight control over the role that you are playing, and don't let the mask which hides you or hides your face of Aravasu and makes you Vritra take over from you. You should always have the feeling that you are Aravasu playing the role of Vritra. This is the advice that the actor manager gives to Aravasu. So here you have the actor manager, which uh, he continues. He has been in the field for a long, long time. So he has more advice about the mask. One can wear it and become the character, like a good actor getting into the role. But one should never let it dictate the terms. This is what he told him earlier, that you should not let the mask control you. You should have a control over the mask. And Arvasu should be able to control the role that he is playing, wearing the mask of Vritra and becoming Vritra on the stage. But after that, or he should always understand that it is only a role that he is playing. He is not Vritra but playing the role of Vritra. This much is the advice the actor manager gives to Arvasu, because he knows that this young man has got a lot of zest in him, and he is going to be a very good actor because he can dance so well and he can by heart the dialogues within no time at all. And there is a lot of skill in him, and it is to be unleashed on the stage. And the actor manager, being the manager of that troupe, cautions him, because this is the first time Arvasu is performing, and cautions him about the mask and how the mask takes over. And I hope you remember how the mask. There is a film called Mask, which takes over the person, and how that person becomes so very deadly and things like that. So that is something that happens to people when they start playing the role of a character on stage, and they are into that character, and it takes them a lot of time to get back to their own normal selves. And sometimes this can be dangerous also, because they are so into the role that they don't want to come down. And so Aravasu should be able to control the role that he is playing, wearing the mask of Vritra. So this caution from the actor manager is that Aravasu should be able to have a control over the mask or the role that he is playing. He should not let it dictate the terms. He should be the master, of course, and the role should be played by him and not the mask controlling him. There's a lot of difference, and it is that difference that is going to make him a very good actor or someone who is on the borderlines. Okay, almost in a trance, Arvasu opens the bundle of clothes and dresses the costume. On the dark stage, Nitilai's brother and husband melt away, because they are just termed as melting away, because they are so very silent, and you won't even know that they have been dead. That this is the manner in which they are pictured in the play, and they have killed Nitilai within no time at all, and no sound is made by the brother or the husband or by Nitilai, the audience, and now they are just melted away. So the actor manager and the acting team, they are now going to the fire sacrifice where they are going to perform, and the audience now consists of Paravasu and the king, and they are in their places ready to watch the play as mentioned in the prologue. As I told you earlier, the prologue ends with uh, Paravasu giving, chief priest giving permission for the actor manager to come and deliver the message from his brother. We have heard that there is a message from your brother Aravasu, and Paravasu giving permission. That's what we have seen earlier in the prologue. And the message was not read out; it was acted out by the actor manager, and that causes a lot of laughter and lot of entertainment. And Parvas was really humored, and he believes that he need not be afraid of Aravasu because he had already been sent away from there. And so he is asking permission for the staging of the play by the actor manager, and he didn't say much about himself, but Parvasu knew that Arvasu is alive, and he has the absolute confidence that Arvasu is not going to upset anything by declaring to the open audience that it is Parvasu who had killed their father. So that kind of confidence is too much. And Parasu says, okay, let him come and perform. And that much we have seen in the prologue. And now it is the epilogue, that is after this Act 3, you find an epilogue where the play within the play is being acted out. And you have between the prologue and the epilogue, Act 1, 2, and 3, where these happenings were there, and in epilogue you will find the epic scenes acted out, and the connection between the epic story and what happens to Aravasu and Paravasu and his family, it is connected, and so the connection is there. And in the last part, that is in epilogue, we'll be able to see the drama and how it is being acted out by the actor manager and Aravasu as the Vritra, the demon, and how he is going to confront his brother Paravasu and through that character. And the story of the from the epic is already mentioned in your textbook towards the end. Read that story before you watch the epilogue. So have a nice time, and I hope you will be reading the play along with this and enjoying that play because the dialogues are so really good, and it is something that you have to appreciate. And the way in which characterization is being developed through the three acts, everything is there, and it shows the skill of the writer Girish Karnad and the excellence with which he had done that, the discipline that he had used in creating each character and not giving too much dialogue there also, and also having a play within the play, a master character, and the advice given by a master actor to a young novice about acting, about how the mask can control you. Do not let it do it. You have to have a tight control over the mask or the role that you are playing. And with that, we finish Act 3. Thank you. See you again in the next class.